Oh yeah! So, what do you guys think? I quite like it. I think I'm one step closer to looking how old I actually feel. Oh! Ooh! Oh, yup. Yup. Right in the blowhole. Ooh, here comes a stomachache. Love that. I love that for me. Well, I don't like the Olympus anymore. Oh, I gotta get up. I gotta get up. Well, this video is off to a great start. If you guys follow me on Instagram at DenDenBMX, you'd see that I bleached my hair one more time, and I kind of looked so much like Guy Fieri, it was a little terrifying. But anyway, I just want to take a second to thank the lovely sponsor of today's video, Knife Pivot Lube. You guys should know by now, but if you want to get yourself some KPL products, use the link that I will have in the bio as well as pinned in the comments. You click that link, you go to KPL's website, get anything your heart desires, and then over at checkout, use code DenDenBMX. If you use my link and use my code, you will get a discount, and I will get some kickback from your purchase. I also want to give a big shout out to Pyro Flipper over on Instagram for including me in his pass around of the Olympus along with a couple other products and maybe a few other things here in the future. Maybe some rather expensive Italiano Balisongs are coming our way, but who knows what the future holds. So yeah, big shout out to Pyro Flipper. Make sure you give him a follow. Today we're going to be checking out the Olympus Prime from Olympus Industries, that is. So like the very professional and high-class Balisong YouTuber I am, I'm coming into this video rather uneducated. But yeah, this is the Olympus from... No, it's not. This is the Prime from Olympus Industries, and it's a rather unknown Balisong that I was quite interested in. Let's get out of the way. I don't know what blade steel this is. What a shocker that is, but this one's got a nice one. I'm assuming. Nothing's caved in on it yet, so I'm assuming it's a pretty good blade steel. This thing runs on bushings, and it's got some nice bronze phosphorus washers guiding them along. And then we've got some real nice G10 scales sitting on top of some titanium liners with a big old titanium block spacer here at the end. I love how flush it is on the end. I need to get some spacers for my replicants so that their rumps can also be as flush as this one. This Balisong also has hidden Zen pins, which I quite enjoy the look of. Also, in the couple weeks that I've had to borrow this Balisong and check it out and flip it, I haven't touched the screws on it once. It's remained rock solid. So solid, in fact, that after a couple weeks, there's no tap. I mean, there's like this little click. I don't think that's the blade touching, though. I can't tell what that is, but it's very quiet. It almost sounds like there's no tap. And then there's like virtually no play. Like it's wiggling around in my fingers, but there's really no play. And thanks to the materials used and how tight the tolerances on this Balisong are, this thing sounds awesome. This thing is so nutty and bouncy. I love the way it sounds. Oh. Oh, yeah, a lot of the times when I flip this Balisong, it ends up just me doing the same trick over and over again, so I get the real satisfying sounds out of it. It is quite the looker, don't get me wrong, but it's quite the sounder, even more so. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, Olympus isn't very well known within the community. I actually didn't even know this Balisong or this brand existed until Pyro sent me a picture of this Balisong, and I was like, what you got there, bud? Now, this Balisong is very similar to the BRS Replicant when it comes to build type and like construction of this Balisong. But I would say this Balisong is more like a skinnier version of the Replicant. The handles are pretty long, but they're not very thick in any sort of direction. The titanium slabs are surprisingly thin. The G10 scales are also quite thin, and it feels pretty cool. It's like this otherworld version of a Replicant, but it's not a clone of a Replicant, you ding-dongs, because it looks nothing like a Replicant. The handle pattern's completely different. The blade is completely different. The blade pattern is completely different. The Replicant doesn't use hidden Zen pins. It's not a Replicant clone. And if I hear anyone try to say that, I swear to God, I'll become your stay-at-home stepdad, and some domestic abuse will happen. As you can see, we have number 12 out of 100. I think that's laser etched in a very lovely font right there. And then also on the other side, it says Olympus Industries, but you guys probably already saw that in the B-roll. I'm running out of things to talk about while I'm sitting here, and also I feel like you guys don't really care about this part of the video, so let's just go flip this thing. Now when it comes to the flippability of this Balisong, I quite like it, but I feel like not everybody is going to feel the same as me, because I would say this Balisong's main defining trait is that it's quite handle bias. Now it's not handle bias enough to where it messes up your flipping at all, where it like ruins momentum and makes tricks act very awkwardly. It's not that handle bias, but it's handle bias enough to where you definitely notice it, and there's a lot more momentum on the ends of the handles specifically going around more than anything else. Now that being said, it's still a really good flipper. I have a lot of fun flipping this thing, but it's a very different sort of flipper than what I think most people will be used to, because a lot of brands try to make Balisongs neutral or like a slight handle bias. This is like a pretty significant handle bias to where it's like almost like overbearingly handle bias. Momentum for rollovers and stuff like that feels really good. It feels very fluid. Aerials are still really easy to time on this thing. Parabolics are still fine. Like, it doesn't really mess that up in any way, shape, or form. Choker fans actually feel really good on this thing. Ladders are a little slippery, but for the most part, they're fine. I feel like the handle bias and the slight ladder slipperiness could be resolved by the same thing, which I'll get into here in a minute. Fans feel good, choker fans especially, when you get them going, that momentum carries them around and it feels really nice. Let's see, Z chokers feel good. It's kind of the same thing as choker fans, where the momentum really does carry it around and gets it going pretty fast. But everything else feels really good. Let's see how long it'll take me to get a double scissor. Oh, hold on. There we go. That was one. It was really slow and pretty ugly probably, but... that was a little better. But with this ice pick parabolic, instead of just flicking it up like that, I'm having a lot of fun like kind of just holding it upside down and then flicking it up. Like I like doing Z chokers and then catching it like that. I don't know, I feel like that looks cool. I don't know, from your guys' point of view, it may look like booty ass, but from my point of view, I think that looks pretty cool. Whoa, that was weird. So yeah, I'm having quite a bit of fun flipping this thing. I mean, also, this is a little bit of a heavier Balisong. I feel like, again, most of that weight is coming from this thing's badonkadonk. Like, I feel like all that momentum is still good for people who like to flip fast. It's just, since this thing's heavier, it might fatigue you a little bit quicker, you know? At least that's what I feel when I flip with this thing. I know that if I just, like, non-stop flip with it, my hand does get a little bit more tired and a little more crampy, a little quicker than it would with, like, my normal replicants. Again, that's not, like, a fatal flaw for this thing or anything. All in all, I still really like the way this thing flips. It's just a little quirky. But, you know, maybe that's a good thing. Oh, that was a weird save. That was gross. I don't know. I like how this Balisong is now, but I feel like it could be improved by working on the very gnarly handle bias that it has and maybe calming that down a bit. This thing has pretty big spacers on the ends of these handles, and I feel like getting rid of some of that material will help this thing's flipping performance just a little bit more. Like I said, it's not too handle biased to where it's messing up the flipping, but it's handle biased enough to where it's really noticeable. And a lot of people might not like that. Maybe shorten this spacer up just a little bit, or might I recommend adding some jimping onto this thing. That way it would take off some of the materials on these spacers, thus making it a little bit lighter. And as a result, it would also end up with this thing having some very nice jimping. Like, just put some big aggressive jimping on the sides of this spacer and you're good. Like, this thing will probably still be handle biased, but it'll be a lot more neutral leaning, and then it'll also have jimping, which helps a whole lot with stuff like ladders and such. But that's just my recommendation. Another way to not make this thing so handle biased is to just make the spacer a little bit smaller. But I don't know. I think adding jimping would be the better choice, because jimping never hurts a Balisong. It can only help it. I don't know. I like jimping, and I think Balisongs are better with it. But that's just a theory. A Balisong theory. Yeah, overall, I like this Balisong. I think it's a nice addition to the community, and I feel like Olympus is a little bit underrated, so maybe you guys should go check them out. Follow them on Instagram. Grab yourself an Olympus Prime. So far, I quite like Olympus Industries, and I think they got something good going for them. I think this may need a little bit more perfecting, but what they have right now is already quite good. It just might not be for everybody because, again, it's so handle biased. But I still quite like the way it flips, and I really don't feel like it affects flipping, but I can also understand if someone's not going to like how this thing flips because it's so handle biased. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up today's review and flipping demo of the Olympus Prime. Real quick, I want to give a big shout out to Modern Balisong, Cosmic Steez, Benji, Luke, and A Horse Running. Those are my current channel members, and their support really means a lot and helps the channel in like a surprisingly big way. If you want to join them and get a shout out in my videos as well as the occasional exclusive members only video, then you can go down there and click the join button. Tiers start as low as $3. If you still want to monetarily support the channel, but just like a one-time thing, you can hit the super thanks button. It's like a little tip jar. And real quick, before we go, I just want to give another big shout out to Olympus Industries for making this Balisong. I want to give a big shout out to Pyro Flipper on Instagram for hosting this pass around and for including me in it. I want to give a big thank you to Knife Pivot Loop for sponsoring today's video. And I want to give a big thank you to you for watching this video, especially if you made it this far. If you did enjoy the video, definitely let me know and help me please my mistress, known as the YouTube algorithm, by leaving a like on this video. Again, you would be surprised at how much it helps out. So does leaving a comment, giving me your thoughts and opinions, sharing the video around, and making sure you're subscribed if you haven't already and you enjoy the content that we put here on DenDenBMX. Look at I'm like that one meme. But yeah, we're on the road to 17,000 subs, so if you haven't already and you constantly watch this channel, what are you doing? If you constantly watch this channel and you still haven't subscribed, I'm a little hurt, but I'm also a little bit more angry than I am hurt. So you better either subscribe or get ready to tussle. Last but not least, if you also want to follow me on Instagram, it's the same name as this channel. It's DenDenBMX. Follow me. Okay, I'm done being a tool. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.